Morning, students. Today we are going to discuss the last part of exercise 13.3, where we will be doing sums based upon Bayes theorem, and I'm starting with sum number 9. It is given two groups are competing for the position on the board of directors of a corporation. The probabilities that the first and the second groups will win are 0.6 and 0.4 respectively. Further, if the first group wins, the probability of introducing a new product is 0.7 and the corresponding probability is 0.3 if the second group wins. What is, or find the probability that the new product introduced was by the second group. So here three events are there. First two events are, there are two groups which are competing for the position on the board of directors, and if they win, then they are introducing a new product. So introducing a new product is the main event, and before the introduction of the new product, the causes for the introduction of new product are these two groups which are competing for the position, they have to occur. Okay, so we will define, let E1 be the event when group 1 wins, okay, and E2 be the event when group 2 wins for the position, right? So these probabilities are given to us. So the probability that group 1 wins, it is given 0.6, and the probability that the second group wins is 0.4. So if we notice here, sum of these two probabilities is 1. That means these are mutually exclusive and exhaustive events. At the same time, both the groups cannot win. Only one group will win at a time. So intersection is 5. They are mutually exclusive, right? And now we will define, let capital A be the event when a new product is launched. A new product is introduced or launched, right? So if this new product is launched, if group A wins, that conditional probability is given, and the product is launched if group B second wins, that also is given. So if the first group introduces the product, it is 0.7, and the probability that the group product will be introduced by the second group is 0.3, right? And now we have to find what we are supposed to find. We have to find the probability when the group is when the product is launched for sure, but what is the probability that this product is introduced by the second group? Second group means E2 event. So we have to find the probability of E2 event, E2 cause, when this main event has already occurred. So by Bayes theorem, what we will have, probability of E2 given A is probability of E2 into probability A given E2 divided by total probability of the main event, probability of E1 into probability A given E1 plus probability of E2 into probability A given E2. We will just substitute the values. So it is 0.4 into 0.3 whole divided by 0.4 into 0.3 plus 0.6 into 0.7, right? So we will just multiply and divide and we will get the answer. So here we have 0.12 divided by 0.12 plus 0.42. So what we are getting, 0.12 divided by 0.54. Okay, so 2 by 9 will be the answer. Okay, so the probability that the product is introduced by the second group is 2 by 9. So the sums are very simple. The only thing is, if we understand, if we recognize the events, like which are the causes, what is the main event, then the sum will be done easily. We will go to the next sum number 10 now. So sum number 10 is, suppose a girl throws a die. If she gets 5 or 6, she tosses a coin 3 times. So a girl throws a die. Okay, a die is thrown, right? If the die gives 5 or 6, then she is tossing 3 coins, right? She is tossing 3 coins, and if the die results in 1, 2, 3 or 4, then what is happening? She tosses the coin once. So 1 coin is tossed, right? Okay. The next thing is, and she notes the number of heads, how many heads are coming. So here number of heads are counted, number of heads, right? The next thing, she tosses, if she gets 1, 2, 3, she tosses a coin once and notes the number of heads, whether it is head or tail. If she obtained exactly 1 head, what is the probability that she threw 1, 2, 3 or 4 with the die? So when the number of heads are added, the main event is that she wants exactly 1 head. So how many events are there here where exactly 1 head? Okay, that we are concerned with. Exactly 1 head. It is HTT, HT, THT and TTH. Okay, so there will be 3 outcomes only where we will have 1 head. Okay, and when 1 coin is tossed, either head will come or tail. There is only one event only when head is coming, right? So this, first of all, die is rolled, either this thing should come or here. That means these two will be the 2 causes, and when this thing has happened, she is tossing the coin and noticing the number of heads. So let E1 be the event when, E1 be the event when she gets 5 or 6 on rolling a die, and let E2 be the event when she gets 1, 2, 3 or 4 on rolling a die. And we will define, let capital A be the event when she gets exactly 1 head, because the main event is dependent upon counting the number of heads, and it is exactly 1 head. Okay, so let us define, we will define, let E1 be the event when the girl gets 5 or 6 on rolling a die, and E2 be the event when she gets 1, 2, 3 or 4 on rolling a die, right? And what will be the probability of E1 event? So there are only 2 outcomes out of total 6 outcomes. 2 outcomes, that means E1 event. So it will be 2 divided by 6, that is 1 by 3. And the probability of second event will be, so 4 outcomes are there, so it will be 4 by 6, that is 2 by 3. And now we will define, let A be the event, let A be the event of getting exactly 1 head, right? So probability of getting exactly 1 head when first event is occurred, when first cause is there. So when first event has already occurred, that means she is tossing 3 coins. Okay, when she is tossing 3 coins, and how many outcomes are there where she is getting exactly 1 head? There are 3 outcomes, so it will be 3. We know when we toss 3 coins, total number of outcomes is 8. Okay, similarly the probability of getting exactly 1 head when second event has occurred. Now second event means this is the first event and this is the second event. Now second event means on getting these 4 numbers, any one of these 4 numbers, she is tossing 1 coin, and when 1 coin is tossed, either head is coming or tail. So the probability of getting head will be 1 by 2, right? So causes probabilities are done, conditional probabilities are done. Now what we are supposed to find? We have to find the probability that she is getting exactly one head. What is the probability that she threw 1, 2, 3 or 4? So that means what is the chance or what is the probability that second event has occurred due to which she is getting exactly one head, right? So same formula we will apply by Bayes theorem, or let us write down here by Bayes theorem. What we will get here, probability of E2 given A is equals to probability of E2 into conditional probability of A given E2 divided by total probability of the event, probability E1 into probability A given E1 plus probability of E2 into probability A given E2. We will just substitute all these values and you will get the answer, right? I hope the statement is clear. I have just explained it with the help of this diagram also, so that it becomes easy for you people to understand, okay, these are the causes and this is the main event. Main event is getting exactly one head. So when 3 coins are tossed, how many times she is getting exactly one head? When one coin is tossed, how many times she is getting exactly one head, right? So this is sum number 10. And now sum number 11. It is a manufacturer has 3 machine operators A, B and C. The first operator A produces 1% defective items, whereas the other 2 operators B and C produce 5% and 7% defective items respectively. A is on the job for 50% of the time, B is on the job for 30% and C is on the job for 20% of the time. Now, a defective item is produced. So the main event will be defective item is produced. What is the probability that it is produced by A? So the reason is A, okay? The main event is the defective item is produced. But here there are 3 causes, okay? So let E1 be the event when the machine operator A is working, B be the event when the machine operator B is working, and C be the event, means E3 will be that event. And capital A, the main event, we will say when the defective item is produced. So let us do sum number 11 now. So sum number 11, in the very first sentence, it is written a first operator A produces 1% defective items. That means conditional probability is given before here, means in the beginning of the statement itself conditional probabilities for A, B, C are given, right? And the cause is given like A is on the job for 50% of the time, B and C are on the job for 30% and 20% of the time respectively. So how we will define the events? We will say let E1 be the event denoting time consumed by A operator, right? And E2 and E3 for operators B and C respectively. So the time consumption is given in the percentage. So the probability of E1 event is given 50%. Probability of E2 is given 30% and probability of E3 is given 20%. So these are the causes. And now we will define let capital A be the event denoting a defective item is produced. A defective item is produced, right? So conditional probabilities are given. Defective item is produced when A1 is, when first event has occurred, it is given in the second sentence 1%, right? And defective item is produced by due to the second event, it is given 5%, and the defective item produced due to the third event is given 7%, right? We are supposed to find the probability that defective item is produced. This has been done. What are the chances, or what is the probability that it was produced by A? So A operator means E1 event, okay? So E1 given A we have to find. So again, by Bayes theorem, the probability of E1 given A will be probability of E1 into conditional probability of A given E1 divided by total probability. So probability of E1 into probability A given E1 plus probability of E2 into probability A given E2 plus probability of E3 into conditional probability of A given E3. So we will substitute the values. Percentage we can easily remove. This will be 0.5, this will be 0.3 and 0.2. 1%, 0.1, 0.5, 0.7. If you substitute all these values, sorry, not 0.1, 0.01, 0.05, 0.07, okay? And if you substitute all these values in the formula, we are getting the answer. So sum number 11 is also done. Sum number 12 is now, a card from a pack of 52 cards is lost. Okay, one card is lost. From the remaining cards of the pack, 2 cards are drawn and are found to be both diamonds, right? Find the probability that the lost card being a diamond, okay? Now diamond is a suit, so there are 13 diamonds, okay? So what we have to do, that means we have to find the probability that the lost card is diamond. So the cause will be like that, when whatever first card, one card is lost from the pack, we will say let E1 be the event that the lost card is of diamond, or E2 be the event that the lost card is non-diamond, okay? Because in Bayes theorem we are calculating the probability of the cause. So upon the cause only the conditional probability will depend, right? So how we will define? We will say 12th sum, we will say let E1 be the event that the lost card is diamond, okay? And E2 be the event that the lost card is non-diamond, right? So the probability of E1 event, we know how many diamonds are there, 13. So 13 divided by 52, that means it is 1/4. And the probability of the second event when it is non-diamond, so how many cards are left which are non-diamond? 39. 39 divided by 52, it will be 3/4, okay? Directly also we can say, if this is 1/4, E2 will be the complement to this, so 1 minus 1/4, directly 3/4 will also come. Why so? Because these two events are mutually exclusive and exhaustive events, so the sum of these two probabilities will always be 1. If 1 I know, I can easily write down the second probability also, right? And we will define, let capital A be the event denoting, now what is the main event occurring? 2 cards are drawn and they are found to be both diamonds. So let capital A, we will say, denote the event of getting 2 diamonds, denoting, or let A be the event that denotes, so that denotes getting 2 diamonds from the remaining cards, from the remaining cards, right? So based upon this, what we will have here, so probability of these 2 diamonds cards when E1 event has occurred, already 1 card is lost, right? So how many diamonds are left there? There are 12 diamonds are left, okay? So let us move to the next page. So probability that these two diamonds we are getting when E1 event has occurred. Now E1 event is that the lost card is diamond. So out of 13, one diamond is gone. So in the pack now 12 diamonds are left. Okay, so two cards we have to draw. So two cards can be drawn from the 12 diamonds. It will be 12 C2 ways, and out of 52 one is lost. So total number of cards are 51. So 51 C2 ways, right? And similarly probability of getting two diamonds cards when second event has occurred. Now second event is that the lost card is not a diamond card. So total 13 cards are there as such. So 13 C2 divided by 51 C2, right? We can easily calculate them by applying the combination formula. The combination formula is NCR equals to n factorial divided by r factorial into n minus r factorial. So we can easily calculate, right? So probability, what we have to find here now, we have to find the probability of the lost card being a diamond. So we have to find the probability that two diamond cards already taken, what are the chances that the lost card is also diamond. So probability of E1 cause when main event has occurred, this we have to find. So you will apply here Bayes theorem and substitute the values to get the answer, right? You people can complete it easily, right class? So this was sum number 12. Sum number 13 now. The probability that A speaks truth is 4 by 5. A coin is tossed. A reports that a head appears. The probability that actually there was head is what? So options are given to you people, and how will you work it here? We will define, let E1 be the event when A speaks the truth. So E2 will be its complement. So E2 be the event when A doesn't speak the truth. So probability of E1 will be, so let me just start the sum. We will define, let E1 be the event that denotes A speaks the truth. Okay, and it is given. And E2 be the event, that A does not speak the truth, right? So probability of E1 is given, that the probability that A speaks the truth is 4 by 5. So the probability that he doesn't speak the truth means E2, it will be 1 minus 4 by 5. So here we get 1 by 5. This is done. Now a coin is tossed. The main event is a coin is tossed. A reports that a head appears. The probability that actually there was head, what are the chances? So A we will define, let A be the event that head appears, right? And let us do, we will define, let A be the event that head appears, right? So the when coin is tossed, the probability of getting a head and tail are equal. That is, what is that? It is 1 by 2. So probability that head has appeared and it is occurring due to the first event, conditional probability, the person is telling the truth, head has also appeared, it is 1 by 2. And what is the next? The probability that the head appears but it is occurring due to the second case, so that also will be 1 by 2 only. And the probability that head appears but it is false, that also will be 1 by 2, right? And now we have to find the probability that actually there was head and the probability that actually there was a head. So we have to find here probability that head is there. What are the chances that the person speaks the truth also? So probability of E1 given A, you people have to find, right? So you people can complete it. Now last sum, if A and B are two events such that A is a subset of B and probability of B is non-zero, then which of the following is correct? That you people must think. A is a subset of B, right? So A is contained in B, so probability of A will be less than probability of B. That you have to think how it will work, and by that you people can complete your exercise. Okay, so or what are the options given if, okay, we are, if it is given A is a subset of B, that means if A is a subset of B, then A intersection B will be equals to A only. So probability of A intersection B will be actually probability of A, right? So probability of A given B will be equals to probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B, and from this what I will say, that probability of A intersection B, or sorry, probability of A given B will be equals to probability of A upon probability of B. Now A is the subset of B, so the numerator is less than denominator. So what we will conclude here, that probability of A given B will be greater than or equal to probability of A. Try to do, I have explained a little bit, try to do, otherwise we will discuss. So with this, the exercise is over. You people can complete it, right? Thank you, students.